Hey, my name is Sarah, and today I've got a yoga flow for you that's going to focus on lower body mobility, as well as opening up your chest and shoulders and finding a little bit more spaciousness in this area. This is a great practice to use to supplement kickboxing training, but you can also just use it if you're feeling tight in those areas. Let's go ahead and get started. We'll start by warming up the spine. So let's come to all fours. You can bring your wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. So we're just going to take a cat-cow variation. So start by scooping and rounding your spine, chin towards your sternum, and then shift your hips over to the right. And now drop your belly through center, shift over to the left, and draw a circle up and around. We'll do that a few times, shifting over to the right, dropping your belly, and coming up and around. So it's like you're drawing a circle here with your belly button, a little sphere or oval shape. And if this feels confusing and you'd rather just take cat-cows through center, you can go ahead and do that. It's the same thing. We're finding some spinal flexion and some spinal extension as you drop your belly. And we'll reverse that direction. We shift over to the left, drop your belly, and then round and scoop, chin towards your sternum. So just finding some organic movement and warming up your spine here. You can begin to incorporate your breath. If you're hearing any popping of your hips, that's normal as long as there's no pain. Okay, let's take one more. And we'll come through center, downward facing dog. Let's bring the palms a little bit more forward. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. Okay, our hips are up. Allow your head to be heavy, soften your knees, and just pedal it out here to begin. Again, we're just warming up, full body here. Okay, decompressing your spine, stretching the backs of your legs and ankles. I always like to start with a downward facing dog because it really does stretch so many muscles. Okay, press into your finger pads if you're feeling too much pressure on your wrists. Maybe you even find a little sway side to side as you deepen your breath. It's going to bring that stretch a little bit more into your side waist. Good. Okay, come back through center. From here, forward fold. Let's step to the top edge of your mat and then just drape over your legs. Okay, your feet are hip width and parallel, knees are soft. I'm just allowing some passiveness to happen in my spine, and if you're not all the way touching your toes, that's okay. Maybe your forward fold is a little bit higher. In time, we can work to bring the chest a little bit closer to your knees. And again, we're keeping these joints nice and soft. No need to straighten out your legs completely. Halfway lift. Drag your fingertips up your shins, maybe to the tops of your quads. Soften your knees, tabletop your spine. And then exhale back to your forward fold. Drape over your legs. From here, root to rise. Push into your feet, reach the arms up and overhead. From here, we're gonna find a little steeple grip. Okay, so point our fingers together, up and overhead, and we just find a side body stretch. So go ahead, bump your hips to the left as you reach up and over to the right. And then we do that to side two, come through center, bump your hips to the right, reach over towards your left. Beautiful, back through center. We'll come back to our forward fold. So dive forward. From here, crescent lunge, right leg steps back. Stabilize through the ball of your back foot, through your front foot, and then reach your arms up. So it's a high lunge or a crescent lunge. We're finding the alignment of your front knee over your ankle. We're nice and high on the ball of your back foot. Our hips are forward. Relax your shoulders. From here, let's start to open up your chest. So we'll bring our fingers to interlace or just behind the head, elbows wide, and then begin to draw your elbows back. Find a nice chest opener here. You can find a small back bend. And you're also probably going to feel a nice stretch in your right hip flexor. Okay, if this is enough, you can stay here. If you'd like to deepen this stretch through your chest, we can begin to reach our arms back. Maybe you interlace your fingers behind your back. Now we can bring our palms flush together. We can square at our wrists. We can bring backs of our hands to our low back, or maybe you grab opposite elbows. Tons of variations here, but the point is that we're finding a little bit of compression or bind at your back, and this is going to open up your chest and shoulders, and we're going to come back to this later. So take whatever variation feels good in your body. A little bit more spaciousness in your chest, and then we'll go ahead, release, runner's lunge. Bring your fingertips to frame your front foot. Now go ahead, plant your right palm, take a twist, left arm up. Take a breath as we find some rotation in your thoracic spine. And then exhale back to your runner's lunge. From here, let's lower the back knee down. And then we're gonna find a quad stretch. So left arm reaches up and over. And maybe you're just here. We don't wanna put any pressure in that back knee. So if this next step is beginning to cause any tension in your knee, then just stay here. Otherwise, we can begin to lift that foot towards your hand. And we find a nice deep quad stretch in your right thigh, right quad. Also opening up through your shoulder. And again, begin to deepen your breath because that's going to really help you get a little bit deeper into these stretches and reap the full benefits of these postures. Good. Let's go ahead, release. Frame your foot once again with your fingertips, half splits. Bring your sit bones back towards your heel. And then your left toes kind of curl towards your face as we extend through your right or your left leg. But soften out your knee here, okay? So don't lock out any of your joints. Keep it soft. You can relax your head. Good. Roll forward to your low lunge, pigeon pose. We're going to shimmy the left foot towards the long edge of your mat and then extend your right leg long behind you. Okay, for our pigeon pose, we can bring the left heel as close towards your midline as you need. That shin doesn't have to be parallel to the top edge of your mat. Okay, we work to keep the hips even and forward. If you've got props and you want to put a blanket or a block underneath your hip, if it's drawing upward a lot and you're having trouble grounding it down, you can put a prop underneath your hip. And we can always come to this figure 4 variation, seated or on your back, if pigeon pose is hurting your knee or if it's just not accessible right now. Well, let's take a few breaths here. I like to find a little sway side to side here. Nice stretch in your left glute and in your right hip flexor. And we can take 2 breaths, relaxing into the posture a little bit deeper. So come to your forearms if you like. Tuck your chin, breathe deep. Good. Let's bring our hands to the mat to help you lift your chest. From here, we're going to roll onto your left hip and then swing your right leg around. Okay, right leg is forward, knee soft, and then the sole of your left foot is meeting your inner thigh. Okay, from here, we're just going to take a forward fold. So reach your arms up. Let's try to maintain a straight back to start. Okay, try to maintain a straight back. And then when you feel like you can't keep it straight anymore, you can just round and find a passive stretch here. And it's okay if you can't touch your toes again. We'll get there in time. Just relax. Feeling a stretch behind your right leg. And let's lift our chest. Bring the sole of your left foot to the ground. So you're just gonna lift the left knee and we'll take a twist from here. So you're gonna bring that foot over your right thigh and we'll take a closed twist. So I'm going to bring my right elbow to the outside of my left knee, left fingertips behind me, lengthen through your spine and then find a small twist here. Good. We're going to take this to an open twist. So now your left arm comes to the inside of your left knee. Lengthen up through your spine, come into your twist. Okay, from here we're going to do something a little fancy. Okay, we're going to take the left palm and then continue to bring it over towards the right palm, and we're just going to twist to find a downward facing dog at the back edge of your mat now. Okay, we're gonna repeat that whole flow. You're gonna face the back edge of your mat this time. So stay with me here. Starting in our down dog, go ahead, soften your knees, pedal it out. Your muscles should be feeling a little bit more warm. And we'll take a forward fold from here. Let's step to your back edge of your mat now. So step forward. Forward fold, hang here a moment, halfway lift, draw your fingertips up to your quads, soften your knees, lengthen your spine, relax your shoulders away from your ears, and then exhale, forward fold. Root to rise, ground into your feet, reach the arms up and overhead. Again, we'll take a steeple grip, point our fingers together, and then just bump the hips one way, side body stretch. Come up through center, bump the hips the other way, side body stretch. Beautiful, let's come back through center, forward fold, fold over your legs, and then we'll come to our crescent lunge. This time left leg steps back. So step your left leg back, find some stability through your low body, and then we'll reach our arms up and overhead. So now we've got a nice stretch in the left hip flexor. Our hips are forward and even. Let's interlace our fingers behind our head, or just bring your fingertips to the back of your head, elbows wide. Draw your elbows back to open up through your chest. And then if you want a little bit more, we can come into a bind or a little bit deeper of an opening for your upper body. You can find a small back bend here. And when you're ready, let's release the bind, runner's lunge. Come forward, fingertips framing your front foot. Runner's lunge, plant your left palm, right fingertips up. Good, let's bring that palm back down. Lower your knee, and then right arm sweeps back. Coming into our quad stretch, again, we can just stay here, or maybe we begin to lift that back foot towards your hand. No need to push, okay? If you're not there yet, it's okay. We can always keep that foot down. Connecting to your breath, always come back to your breath, deepen your stretch to calm your nervous system. And we release. Frame your foot once again, half splits. Draw your sit bones back towards your heel. Extending your right leg, soften your knee, curl your toes towards your face, and then relax your head. Rolling forward to your low lunge. From here, we come to our pigeon pose. Shimmy your foot towards the long edge of your mat. Sit your hip down, lengthen through your back leg. Remember all those modifications you can take figure 4, maybe using a prop underneath your hip, and just find a little sway side to side here. Okay, let's take about 2 breaths, relaxing into the posture. You can find a little bit of stillness if you like here. And use your hands to help you lift your chest. Roll onto your right hip, and then the left leg swings around. So left leg is in front of you, soften your knee, bring the sole of your right foot towards your inner thigh. Let's reach our arms up and overhead. And then with a straight back, we begin to fold towards your leg. And then when you feel like you can't keep it straight anymore, just relax, passive stretch around your spine. Sometimes it's also nice to have a prop on top of your leg here, maybe a pillow or something stacked, a few pillow stacks so you can rest your head. And let's walk our hands back, bringing the sole of your right foot to the ground, lift your knee, and then cross your foot over your thigh. Let's take our closed twist. Left arm or left elbow comes to the outside of your right knee. Okay, let's lengthen through the spine, right fingertips are back, and then come into your twist. And then we'll take an open twist. Go ahead, release. Right arm to the inside of your thigh. Maybe shifting your gaze over your left shoulder. From here, we're gonna transition back to the top edge of your mat. So let's bring the right hand to come around. We pivot on our back toes, and we end up in a downward facing dog, facing the same direction we started. Soften your knees. Let's take a big breath here, in through your nose, sigh out through your mouth. Do that one more time. Big inhale, and let it go. Good, walking to the center of your mat, just take a few steps, and then come to the center of your mat, back to our forward folds. So we're gonna find a little sway here. So let's start just by swaying left. You can drag your fingers through center, sway right. Come back through center. From here, lower your hips coming into a low squat. Okay, lift your chest. If you need to bring your heels up, then this is where you are. It's all good. Okay, if you can lower your heels down, then we're gonna keep the heels down, chest lifted. Let's do that again. Hips up, forward fold. We'll sway left. We'll sway right. Come back through center. Find your squat, chest up. One more time, hips up. Sway one way. Sway the other. Let it be loose and gentle. Come back through center, find your squat. Okay, from here, you're gonna lower your sit bones to the mat. So let's reach our arms forward to provide a little counterbalance, and then lower your seat. Cobbler's pose, soles of your feet come together. I'm gonna turn to face you so you can see me. So soles of your feet together, it's kind of creating this diamond shape with your low body, and we can bring our heels further away from your midline if you'd like a wider diamond. And if you want a little bit deeper of a stretch, we draw the heels just a little bit closer. Let's start with a butterfly here. So we're just flapping the wings of your butterfly with your knees. And then If you'd like to fold a little bit deeper, we can begin to lower your chest. Maybe finding a little sway here. Again, we want to encourage, or I want to encourage, any organic little movements, little instinctual movements that feel good in your body. So feel free to always take a second longer to take a sway, or just find movement that feels right in your body. And we'll come on up. Okay, we're gonna transition to our shins. If you'd like to just come to your shins, go to your shins. If you wanna try this transition with me, we're gonna cross at the ankles and then just come through, palms forward. And we're on our shins. From here, we're gonna continue our shoulder stretching and opening. So let's just begin with a few shoulder rolls back. Let's loosen up this area. You can even take some neck circles if that feels good. But let's release any tension in your traps, in your upper body, especially if you feel like your shoulders are kind of drawing up towards your ears. Just relax them down. We'll take an archer stretch. So you're going to bring your right hand up and over and just drop your palm towards the nape of your neck. Maybe between your shoulder blades if you can reach. Okay, so I'm gonna turn and be your mirror. Right arm is up and over, bent at the elbow, and then the left hand comes up and over, and then we put just a tiny bit of pressure right underneath your elbow. So this is a tricep stretch. So put a little pressure there. You can pull it up and over to bring it a little bit more through the length of your side waist, side of your body. Now I want you to be careful about popping your rib cage out or arching your back and just kind of flaring your ribs out. We want to contain our abdominals towards our midline. Okay, so you have a little bit of engagement in your abs here. We also don't want to put a lot of pressure on the back of your head or on your cervical spine, your neck. It's just gentle here. And again, this is more lateral, I would say, than, popping your rib cage front and back, pressure on the neck. Good, and then we'll take it to the other side. Left arm comes up and over. Just drop your palm towards the nape of your neck. Right arm sweeps up and over for a little bit of assistance, a little bit of pressure right underneath your elbow, and then you can pull your arm laterally, stretching your tricep. And let's go ahead and release. We are coming back to that bind behind your back. So let's interlace your fingers or take whatever option you like, squaring at your wrists, backs of palms to your low back if you're super tight. We can even just simply reach the arms back. But we're finding a nice opening through your collarbones and broadening through your chest. This feels really good if you spend a lot of time slouching or hunching over your phone, a laptop, maybe driving. And let's release. From here, puppy posture. This is one of my favorites. Wrist underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips to start. We can recenter on our mat. And then begin to walk your palms forward. And then we can lower your chest towards the mat. Okay, Okay, your forehead may come down to the mat. If this already feels too intense, maybe you want to put a pillow or something underneath your head or just stay up a little bit higher. Okay, if that feels like enough stretch for you. Otherwise, forehead draws down towards the mat. So you may be feeling a nice deep stretch underneath your arms, your shoulders, and your chest. Now, if you can, we'll inch our fingertips forward just a tiny bit. We're going to bring the palms together, bending at your elbows, and then bring your palms just right over your head. And we continue to breathe here. If this is too much, again, we just take a variation or stay up a little bit higher. You can skip this part. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And release when you're ready. We're coming down to our bellies now, so lift your chest. You can slide forward, lower your hips. Okay, we're gonna drag our palms in line with your chest. You can anchor through your quads, bring the tops of your feet to the mat, and then take a cobra pose, rolling through your spine, push through your palms, and squeeze your glutes, because we don't just wanna work the arm muscles. We're gonna strengthen your low back muscles, your glutes. Draw your shoulders down from your ears, and you do not have to be this high, okay? Again, if you're getting any pain, just stay nice and low. Baby cobra. Let's do that twice more. Rolling through your spine, lifting up. Exhale, lower down. Once more, inhale to lift. Exhale to release. Okay, from here, we're gonna take another shoulder stretch. This one's a little bit more intense, so be careful. Okay, we're gonna extend your left arm long. Now, keeping your head lifted, we're gonna begin to roll onto your left hip. Okay, maybe this is enough stretch, then just stay here. If you want a little bit more, bend into your top leg, and you can begin to bring your toes down to the mat, or maybe even your heel comes down. Okay, this is as far as we're gonna go today. I know for me, this one feels really intense. So just be careful if you've got tight shoulders or any rotator cuff stuff, any type of injury, be careful. Okay, let's take 3 deep breaths here. In and out through your nose. Good. Rolling back through center when you're ready. You can bring your palms in line with your chest again, and this time right arm extends to your side. I'm going to keep my head lifted to keep my spine in alignment, and then begin to roll onto your right hip. Okay, if this is enough, stay here. Otherwise, we can bend into your left knee, drop your toes towards your mat, or maybe your heel. Three deep breaths here. And we'll come back through center when you're ready. From here, let's just flip on over to our back. So we're almost done here. But we'll take a few more stretches. So just come to your back. Let's start by hugging our knees to your chest and just rock side to side. A little massage in your back. We're gonna take a bridge pose. So plant your feet to the mat, relax your arms to your sides, and then rolling through your spine, we'll begin to lift your hips. Okay, you can shimmy your shoulder blades a little bit more directly underneath you, and then you've got an option to take a bind behind your back. So interlace your fingers if you like, and then push your fists into the mat so that you can lift your hips a little bit higher. Okay, getting some blood flow to your head in this inversion. May feel a little bit of heat around your posterior muscles. It's good, your glutes, your hamstrings. Take deep belly breaths here. Let's take 2 more. And then release your bind. Begin to lower your hips. And from here, let's begin to extend the right leg long towards the sky. Keep your knee soft. Interlace your fingers behind your thigh. Okay, maybe you're just staying here, getting a nice stretch behind your leg. If you'd like to go deeper, the left leg can extend on the mat, and maybe we slide our fingertips up to your calf muscle. So you can be in any one of these variations. We're working to keep our hips, our hip bones squared to the sky, especially as we open out into our hip, which we're gonna do next. So from here, you're gonna take your right hand and you'll either grab your ankle or maybe your calf. If you can take your 2-piece fingers and bring them to wrap around your big toe. Now bring your left arm out to the side to kind of ground you. And then the right leg, you're gonna guide it over to the right. Now if you've got a yoga strap or something to wrap around your foot to act as an extension of your arm, you can also use that. You don't need to push too far. Okay, again, this is where we wanna try to keep our hips towards the sky and not roll onto our side. Okay, so take a breath here. Now bend into your knee, guide the leg back through center, and we're gonna do that again. Let's extend towards the sky, and then open out to your right. Nice and easy here. Bend into your knee, back through center. One more time. Okay, and if you're in a different variation, you can just be here. Back through center. Good, let's take it to the other side. Left leg extends towards the sky. Soften your knee. Let's interlace our fingers behind your thigh. Step 1. Option 2, extend your right leg, maybe sliding your hands up to your calf muscle. And I'm still keeping that left knee pretty soft. We'll take this to our hip opener. So left fingers can either come to wrap around your big toe, or maybe you're just grabbing your ankle. Let's bring the right arm out for stability, and then begin to open up your hip. Bend your knee. Bring it back through center. Let's do that again. Begin to extend towards the sky. Open out to the side. Ooh. Bend. Come back through center. 2 more times. You can take your time. Just breathe. Do this last one with a modification. Good. Hug both knees to chest. Little rock side to side. We're gonna finish up with some good old windshield wipers. So bring your feet to the mat. And then just allow your knees to knock one way. And then up through center, the other, just finding some internal and external rotation. Take about 3 more breaths. And when you're ready to come through center, we'll bring our feet wide on the mat and then just let your knees fall towards each other. Arms relaxing to your sides. And we're going to finish up with 3 breaths here. So just let all the nutrients of that movement to just settle in. So 3 breaths, in through your nose, out through your nose. In for 4, out for 6. Here we go. Inhale for 4, 3, 2. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Inhale for 4, 3, 2. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Inhale for 4, 3, 2. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now let's join our breath back together again. Big inhale through your nose, fill your belly. Let it go through your mouth. One more time, in through your nose, out through your mouth. You can draw your hands together and up towards your forehead. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks for practicing with me. Namaste. I hope you're feeling a little bit more mobile, a little bit more loose in your body, and feeling good. I will see you very soon. Please subscribe to the channel and like this video if you enjoyed. See you next time.